Hey guys, it's So from Stretch Kinetics here, and I'm going to take you through a couple of foam roller exercises today to roll out through the lower body. So grab your foam roller, we're going to come down into just kind of a seated position on your glutes there, but we're going to let the calves come over that foam roller. So we're going to use a little bit of the upper body with this one here. You're welcome to do this single leg if you feel like it's a little bit too much to elevate your whole body. Push down with one foot and you can lift up and just let the weight of your other leg rest onto the foam roller. Otherwise, I'm going to do it with both legs today. So I'm going to push my hands down, my fingertips are pointing back in towards my hips, and I'm just going to find a little lift up here, and I'm just going to find a swing forward. So I say swing, but it's a super slow motion swing. And I'm just kind of making my way really slowly, rolling up my calves. And then I'm going to do the same thing, really gently coming back down. So again, you might feel kind of you're rolling over some big knots or big lumps in those calves. Takes a little bit of core work, this one, because you've got to hug your belly in as you kind of roll yourself back down, right down to the bottom. And then you're wanting as much body weight as you can get into this stretch. So it's really kind of the weight of the body that's pushing you down into your foam roller, as opposed to you kind of pushing your feet down. It's just the weight of the body and gravity pulling you down. So you're finding that roll back. So you can stay into this one as long as it feels nice. If you're a runner and you feel like your calves get really tight, this can be a really, really nice one to stay in for a while here. Kind of anywhere up 90 seconds, 2 minutes into this one. It's really as long as it feels nice for you. And then we're going to work our way up our legs. So we're going to let the glutes come down. And we're going to just let it pass the knee joint. So you don't ever really want to roll into the knee joint. You're going kind of either side of it. And then same thing, I'm just going to flip my palms with this one. If you want to take it down that you've got the support of your other foot, again, you can do the same thing with this one. You're just over the other side of the foam roller. But I'm going to let my hamstrings rest down on there. I'm going to lift my hips up, and same thing. I'm just going to start to roll myself really slowly forwards. So there's a little bit of tension in the legs to keep them straight, but as much as you can, you want them to relax so that those muscles get a nice deep roll out. The kind of more that they relax, the deeper layers are going to be penetrated by that foam roller. So you're just really slowly rolling yourself back. Now, if you don't have really tight calves or really tight hamstrings, this might feel like a breeze for you. If you've got really tight ones though, this can feel really, really hectic. It may feel like you've got to put that foot down and try to give yourself a little bit of elevation or take some of the weight out of it. So just really go with what's working for you with it, and just allowing that roll forwards and back. Again, you want to stop just before that knee joint and then find that nice big roll out. Now, the hot tip with foam rolling is it tends to get a little bit worse before it gets a little bit better. With any really myofascial release stuff, if you're using the massage therapy balls or the foam roller, anywhere that you're feeling quite a lot of tension in those areas, you may feel like, oof, it gets a little bit worse before it gets better. So if you're finding a spot that feels really sticky or really hard, just allow the body to kind of hold into it for a moment. Just allow it to sink. And what will happen is the body starts to realize there's nothing to be kind of fighting away from. The muscles will start to relax a little bit more and let you in. And that's when you can start to hit those deeper layers of that muscle and that connective tissue. So those are your hamstrings there. We're going to go all the way up into the glutes. So I'm going to bring the foam roller up. I'm going to go into my right glute so I can face towards you guys this way. You want to always remember to do both sides. We'll just do one side here though. But I've got the foam roller sitting quite firmly. It's right onto kind of the piriformis. I can already feel it on there. That deep external rotator of the hip. So my right foot is down. My hips are slightly turned towards that right hand side. And then I'm going to lift my left heel over the top like we're about to do a figure 4 stretch. And we're going to find a little roll out from there. So you're just going to find that slow roll down. And I'm really slowly rolling it back. I'm even going probably a bit too fast for what I would usually recommend with it. Feel free to take it as slow as you like. You can absolutely creep millimeter by millimeter with this if that feels good. So just really sticking with what's feeling good for you or what your body needs. Oof, I can feel as soon as I roll over that piriformis, it's getting right in there. So if that was me and I was kind of doing a longer session here, I might just roll back onto that piriformis and just let it wait for a moment. I can already feel like as soon as I stop there, my muscles have kind of realized, right, we're coming to a bit of a halt, I can let go a little bit and I can feel it starting to sink in a little bit deeper, and it's starting to hit that piriformis a little bit more. So waiting in there as long as it feels comfortable to do so. Again, you might need to come in and out of these if it's your first time doing any kind of massage rolling or myofascial release stuff. It can feel pretty intense, so just go with what's working for you. And then we're going to make our way all the way up and over. We've got one more little spot to hit for this one, and it's everyone's most hated one. It's our TFL. So as we come up, we're going to make our way all the way over. So again, I'm going to be really mindful not to kind of get right into the hip joint. I don't want to be on the bone or the head of the femur there, but I'm going to draw that left foot over the top of the right, and I'm going to bring it down. So trying to get towards the top of the hip, but not into the hip joint. And I'm going to bring my hands down to support me here. You've got your leg, I've got my left foot over the top here. So if this ever gets too much, I can just push into my left foot and lift myself. If I was to lift all the way up, I'm coming completely off. But if I just needed a little bit extra, I can take the weight off it there. Then I'm going to bring it down and I'm going to start to roll down the leg. So you're just really slowly finding that either hold, sometimes it feels enough just to hold in this position, or the further you go down your leg, you're starting to hit that big band of connective tissue, your IT band, and the lateral quad muscles on the side of the leg there as well. So can't hurt to have a big roll down all of it there. If you can stomach it, it does feel pretty hectic. Whew. And again, you just take it really slow. So I'm not going to rush through too much here. I'm not going to go too deep rather, but I would be kind of really holding into this position and then really slowly moving my way down, slowly moving my way up that leg. So again, you want to just take it really slowly. Feel free to just stick in as long as you need to. Breathe your way through it. If you need to come out of it and give yourself a break and then get back in, absolutely fine. Start if you can for say 30, 45 seconds if it's your first time around doing all of these different styles of foam rolling. As you do get more experience, you may find that it actually feels fine. You can stay in it much longer. And those muscles are starting to get that little bit of melt and starting to unwind and not hold quite as much tension in them. So the last foam roller exercise we're going to come to for your lower body is for your quads. This is my favorite. So coming down, you want the foam roller underneath you here, and you're going to kind of just roll yourself on top of it. So bring your hands down. I'm kind of wedging it underneath my quads there. I'm going to bring my hands down. And you want it starting, say, just above the knee joint. You can bring your toes down, or you can just let your legs lift completely off. Again, if you do need to bring those toes down to create a little bit of elevation, if it feels too strong, that's absolutely fine. And then you want to bring your elbows out, so you're making little goalposts with those elbows. Now I'm going to point my toes with this one, or just let them kind of hang there. I don't want to point too much to get tension through, but I'm going to really slowly start to roll my way up the thighs. So just really slowly allowing that foam roller to just kind of creep its way up the legs. And as you do, just allowing it, take it really slowly, allowing those muscles to relax and that foam roller to hit a little bit deeper into those quads. Now, if you're feeling that this is really sore, this is a little bit too much with any of these exercises, just come out of it. You can always bring yourself back into it. You can do a lot of these with the support of the other leg instead, or you can bring the toes down. As soon as I bring my toes down with this one and lift up, I can still get a little bit of my body weight into it. It still feels like a decent roll out, but it doesn't have the whole weight of my body like if I let it go there. So just be really mindful. If it does get too much, you can always tuck the toes with this one, or bring the feet down like I showed you with the other ones as well. So you're just taking, again, think those really long, broad strokes going all the way up the quads. And again, I'm just kind of supporting my body. I'm just rolling back with it. So my elbows are staying fixed, the forearms are staying fixed, and I'm just kind of rolling myself, shoulders back and forward. And then bringing those knees all the way back down. Bring yourself out of it. So those are your exercises for your foam rolling for the lower half of the body there. So we hit your calves with that one, your hamstrings, TFL, IT band, the connective tissue there, and your quads. Remember with these ones, it can feel pretty intense. You don't ever want to kind of push yourself into something that's really painful or anything like that. So if it's feeling too much, Do one of the variations where you can bring the feet down to support yourself instead of having all of your body weight into the roll out there as well. And work your way up in terms of time. You might be 15, 30 seconds when you start. Working your way up to around 90 seconds has been shown to have the most benefits in terms of any kind of myofascial release and foam rolling work. So if you can eventually get yourself up to that 90-second mark, you're going to see the most benefits in terms of muscle tension release from it.